proportionality from an equation. I'm gonna skip a line. My equation that I'm going to always convert to and revert to is always going to be y equals k times x. My k is my constant of proportionality. C of P for short, because it's a really long word. Okay? So, for example, y equals 5x. My C of P is whatever is in front of that x. Okay, so my question is, how do I find C of P from an equation? Okay, so for example, if I did y equals 2/3 x plus 1, that is non-proportional because of that plus 1. Okay, so that is not a C of P. Okay, I can also look for my C of P through making a table. Start with 0, 0, 1 and 5, 2 and 10, and 3 and 15. So skip a line, I'm making a table. I know that 0, 0 is going to be my origin. So remember, in order to find a relationship that's proportional, it has to go through the origin, 0, 0. Okay, so I have a 0, 0. Let's put these numbers into proportions. Let's put them into ratios. So I have my y over x, 5 over 1, y over x, 10 over 2, y over x, 15 over 3. Okay, if I reduce or I simplify my fractions, my 10 over 2 becomes 5 over 1. My 15 over 3 also becomes 5 over 1. So my C of P is whatever this is. 5 divided by 1, we know equals 5. So in my equation, y equals kx, my k is going to be 5. And that is how I make my equation, through finding a table. Do I find C of P from a table? Okay, so we looked at an equation, we looked at a table. Let's look at a graph. I'm gonna skip a line, and I'm gonna start off with, let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Make it easy. So here's my y, here's my x. Okay, and I'm going to plot my points. I have a 0, 0. Let's do down here, I'll do 4. And again, I'm going to evenly space it by using my finger. Always want it to be evenly spaced to the best of your ability if you don't have a ruler on you, so that your lines don't look crooked. Okay, so I have 0, 0. Let's do 4, 1. Let's do 8, 2. Let's do 12, 3. I'm doing my line. Okay, so let's see if this is proportional. First of all, does it go through the origin? Yes, it does, okay? Because again, my relationship is proportional if it goes through the origin. So it does go through the origin. And let's pick 2 points. One that's not along that y-axis. So I'm gonna pick 4, and I'm gonna pick 8, okay? And, I'm gonna pick 4, 1, and I'm gonna pick 8, 2, okay? And I'm going to count and see how far up I have to go. So I have to go up 1, and I have to go over 4 plus 4 gives me 8. So I had to go up 1 and over 4 in order to get to my next point. So you're gonna always have to pick 2 points in order to find if there's a C of P, a constant of rate of proportion, because you're comparing these 2 points to each other. So in comparison, where is 4 compared to 8? It went up 1 and it went over 4, okay? So my y, I went up 1, and my x, I went over 4. Okay, so my rate of proportion is 1/4 over x. Okay, this is my equation. How do I find the C of P from a graph? So I have, how do I find it from an equation? I just look at the number right next to x. How do I find it from a table? So I look at my table and then I make an equation out of them, and then I divide. If they are all constant, I divide the most simplified number, or I divide any one of these numbers to get the C of P, and then I put it into my y equals kx equation, or I can find it in a graph. I pick 2 points that's not along this y-axis. So I picked 4, 1, and I picked 8, 2, and I compared them. I went, what did I do to get from 4, 1 to get to 8, 2? I went up 1 and I went over 4 in order to get there. And that is how I got my equation. So this is my change in y, and this is my change in x. And that is how I get my equation. It's the same as this equation up here, y equals kx. It's my k, my constant rate of proportion, is 1/4. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over our workbook pages.